Harper Audio presents Screwed, how foreign countries are ripping America off and plundering our economy, and how our leaders help them do it, by Dick Morris and Eileen McGann. Read by Pete Larkin. Introduction. Just before the Chinese president was to arrive in the U.S., a radio show host asked me what I would say to him if I were president. I said I would have told him to stay home. Don't come here until you stop screwing us. Donald Trump, January 2011. America is being ripped off, and our own leaders are not just complicit, they're actively assisting in the process. A newly fashionable dogma of globalism, enthusiastic support for an economic and cultural view of the world as one, has supplanted a fundamental concern for the interests and needs of American citizens in the priorities of our national government. Instead, more and more, we are encouraged by the political and corporate power elite to view ourselves as citizens of the world, where international committees, not individual nations, make the rules that we must follow. As if pride in our own country and a desire to maintain our democratic institutions is just some kind of knee-jerk nationalism by out-of-touch, embittered, old-fashioned, and cranky people. This planetary imperative, inculcated in top schools and advocated by the bureaucratic elite, routinely supersedes our own domestic needs and led to one economic catastrophe after another. And, unfortunately, more are coming. The fact is that we are increasingly ruled by an incestuous and institutionalized worldwide liberal bureaucracy. These so-called experts, who have led us off the cliff in the first decade of the 21st century, continue to command our obedience, and our elected officials won't defy them or even think for themselves. In the globalist community, democracy is utterly unfashionable. These elites see voters as annoying masses who are simply too stupid to know what is really good for the world. Their contempt extends to our leaders. They view legitimately elected officials as dangerous demagogues, exploiting their voters' credulity. They believe instead that career experts like themselves, trained at the top academies, weaned on Wall Street, and institutionalized in the bowels of government bureaus, are destined to rule the new world, telling us what to do, how to live, and dictating what we earn. Everywhere we see the wreckage of their decisions. We see it in the rusting hulks of their favored banks and companies, the metastasizing cancer of personal bankruptcies filed by ordinary American families, and the flawed consequences of their misbegotten policies. As Talleyrand once said of the Bourbon kings of France, they learn nothing and forget nothing, and constantly proffer the same discredited solutions. And our own leaders won't stand up for our interests. Hypnotized by the beat of globalism, they throw away our prosperity, drive our own companies into insolvency, and strangle us with regulations and taxes to our competitive disadvantage. Meanwhile, other nations focus only on their own self-interest. They laugh as our environmental regulations and labor laws put our own companies out of business and yield the playing field to them. They chant anti-American slogans and fund terrorists while raking in our foreign aid. What's wrong with this picture? Global institutions encroach on our national sovereignty, usurping decisions about our own economy, energy, environment, land, and businesses. When Cuba, Venezuela, and Russia drill off Florida shores while our own government won't grant U.S. companies permits, we see a microcosm of what afflicts us. It's time to stop this and reclaim our democracy, our sovereignty, and our common sense. Because foreign countries and companies are exploiting us right on our own soil. Many foreign countries want and get something concrete from us. In order to get what they want, more and more foreign governments are hiring
Sample complete. Ready to continue?